Well, let's go right to the one, the only Joe Biden. The man with the fake hair, the fake teeth, and the fake opinions. He is now suddenly an amazing proponent for the Second Amendment. He wants you to be able... He is a gun guy. He's a gun guy. We all know that about Joe. And he was just talking about that, when he was at the diner, Katie's Diner, just last week. That's been out of business since the 1980s. But he was just, he was going to the diner, then he was going to Home Depot, and then he was on his way to the range. And he was talking, he was talking to his wife, and she said, "What about, what happens? What happens if somebody comes to rape me?
You're at Katie's Diner so often that I've got nobody here to protect me."
Right. And he said, "Honey, get a shotgun." That's what he tells his wife all the time. Get a shotgun.
Go out on the porch or the balcony and just fire off a couple rounds. And you'll be fine.
If I were Joe Biden, I would not tell my wife to get a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? I would be careful of telling her, hey, I could be back. Get a shotgun. But I'm sure he's a delight to live with. Anyway, so he is now making the point that an AR is a wrong weapon for a woman. A shotgun is. Listen.
In a weird interview with Parents Magazine.
Kate Ernest has the next question. She asks, do you believe that banning certain weapons in
This is a guy, by the way.
capacity magazines will mean that law-abiding citizens will then become more of a target to criminals, as we will have no way to sufficiently protect ourselves?
Is this Parents Magazine?
It is.
I have Parents Magazine at home. I've never heard anybody in Parents Magazine ask these kinds of questions.
Hang on just a second. He subscribes to Parents Magazine.
I've never heard anybody in that magazine.
He does? I read
like
Parents
that.
Magazine all the time.
None of them would ever ask a question
I pick
like
it up
that.
and I bring some of the articles and we talk about it at Katie's Diner.
or in the crapper of Katie's Diner.
Yeah, sometimes I read it, to my friends when I'm doing my shopping on the weekend at Home Depot or at the range. But I Parents Magazine, I read it all the time. I get it. I'm a subscriber.
I used to buy Parents Magazine at the convenience stores, but I don't have an Indian accent anymore, so I can't go in there. So
that's amazing.
I'm delighted to answer them. First of all, the idea that... Repeat the last part of the question, please.
So she's asking if a ban goes into effect on certain kinds of weapons and high-capacity magazines.
And what's her name?
Kate.
Stop just a second. You'll notice he's delighted to answer this.
Delighted.
I was doing flashcards with my kids last night, and when they knew the answer, they're like 14, 21, 7. That one is 37. Now, why are you saying all that setup if you're so delighted? I have Parents Magazine, and I am so delighted to answer that question. And let me just start. What was the question again? Really?
Yeah, he's not
This guy
delighted.
didn't hear anything except gun question, Parents Magazine. How do I get out of it? How do I belittle this question? That's all he's thinking. How do I belittle this question? So he did it. Now he's going to answer.
If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to... You don't need...
I promise you, nobody who's coming in is ever going to... What?
This is...
They're not going to come in if you
rape
fire off?
And rape you, they're not going to come in. First of all, you have a double-barrel shotgun.
Notice you just shot both shells.
Right. Notice he's being very specific here. A double-barrel shotgun, not a pump shotgun, because a pump shotgun falls into the assault weapon ban.
Wait, so I don't know anything about guns, but the typical pump shotgun is like that's the one I have, I think, where you shoot and then you pump and you have you load another round.
Shoot again.
So you're saying this would be you couldn't load another round?
You've got two. You have double barrels. So you crack open the shotgun, you put You take
and
your
then
shells
you put two
out,
more, right?
You put 2 more in, and you crack it back and you close it up. So you have 2 shots.
So if you miss,
so you go out on the balcony and you fire off both barrels, and you crack it open and you just got shot in the head by somebody who's coming in.
First of all, who does that? How irresponsible is that? Who tells their wife, you know what, honey, just fire a couple of shots? I've never told my wife that. Never.
Well, and also you
don't pick up a gun unless you're prepared to kill someone or something.
And what you're encouraging your wife to do is when she's in a threatening situation is to walk outside the front door.
Yeah,
that's a terrible idea.
So stupid.
So
start to finish.
First of all, anybody who knows anything about gun safety, they will tell you don't fire warning shots. You don't fire warning shots. You will go in and I've told my wife this, honey, you grab the gun. Not a shotgun, because a shotgun will put her on her butt. I did get her a Walther. It's a great little gun. She can shoot that, and she can shoot that really well, and she goes out to the range. She's a better shot than I am, and I'm a good shot. She'll put that between your eyes, and it doesn't knock her on her ass. It's small enough for her to handle, and she can handle it well. Somebody comes into the house, she's going to put a bullet in your head. And what she's going to do is the minute she's freaked out, she is to say, and I am too, and this we learned from our trainers, you are in my house, I have a gun. I feel threatened by you, and I will shoot to kill. Identify yourself. They don't identify themselves, and you hear them moving forward. I have a gun. I feel threatened by you, and I will kill you. This is your last warning. Identify yourself.
And then if they still come forward, then it's, I'm about to throw up. Yeah. And I have combination skin.
Right.
So don't tempt me.
Right. I may urinate on myself because I read this tip from the University of Colorado. They said that's the best way to stop somebody from raping me.
I also have ballpoint pens at my disposal.
Stop.
You don't want none of this.
Stop, or I will passively resist.
Somebody's coming up the stairs. Somebody comes up our stairs, and you're dead. You're dead.
Well, the Colorado thing's a great point, because what was their actual point in there? No, you don't need a gun to respond to a mass shooter, because eventually they'll need to reload, and then you can stop them.
Yeah.
At the same time, the same people are advocating you to have 2 bullets. Well, what happens when you're reloading?
Right. Exactly.
They hit you with a ballpoint pen, and
anybody
you're done.
who